with there's a survey that we want to send out, and the course calendar. So by 8 p.m. today, you should receive that email. I think it had already been sent out. I don't know. We'll be doing what I know
Got
is,
it.
we'll be doing a reminder mail today. So
Got it. Priyanka here. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Are you starting the session now?
yeah. It's just give me 5 minutes, Priyanka. I was on a call. One
Yeah,
second.
sure. Can you just mute
Yeah,
yourself?
sure.
Thank you.
A very good evening to all. Just wanted to check if I'm audible.
Yes, Karthik.
Okay. Okay, great. Very good evening to all of us who are here. Welcome to this orientation session on MyCENTA, what MyCENTA is, how to use MyCENTA, what are the different components of MyCENTA, and so forth. It's really incredible to have you here with us. Uh, just a quick introduction. My name is Karthik Menon. I am one of the founding members of CENTA, Center for Teacher Accreditation. And before joining CENTA, I was a Young India Fellow at Ashoka University. And at CENTA currently, over the last 5 years, I've been leading the technology efforts as well as our customer experience efforts. So yeah, that's a quick intro about myself. And I'm also joined by Priyanka Arya. Priyanka is our COO. Priyanka, would you want to address them?
Sure. Thanks, Karthik. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible as well as visible. I'm Chief Operating Officer at CENTA, and I've been part of CENTA's journey since last 5 years, like almost the beginning of CENTA. Before that, I was a management consultant for about a decade, and I'm an engineer and MBA by qualification. And Karthik and I are really happy to have all of you here with us in this particular session. And before we start the session, we just want to do a quick round of survey. It's a small group, so we think we can definitely make it very interactive and useful for all of you. So we just want to understand how many of you are already a member of MyCENTA or are aware of MyCENTA, or you are like, first timer for MyCENTA. Would you be able to write your yes or no's, etc., in the chat? It'll just help us understand the pace at which we should take you all through this orientation session. Okay, so we have a first timer. There are two of you who are already members. Just joined, sure. Can I request everyone to quickly put in their thoughts? Just joined, okay. So what we would request is for Karthik to walk us through how to join MyCENTA, and I will just request those of you who already are member to be a bit patient with us, so that we can get the new members onboarded onto MyCENTA, and then we all can walk through this journey together. Karthik, can you
Sure,
help the new members join MyCENTA?
sure,
It's a
sure,
very quick 2-minute process.
sure. What I'm going to do is I'm in the chat section. I'm going to paste a link, and it will be good if all of us who are not members of my center yet, if we can click on that link and fill in the the sign up information. And to help you with that, what I'll also do is I will share my mobile screen so that you can also see what I'm doing as we are speaking. So
Please feel free to ask your questions, etc. here. And while you are doing it, I'll just give you a brief overview of what we do as an organization and in what context we develop MyCENTA. So, as an organization, the aspiration or the goal which we have for ourselves is to make teaching aspirational. And what that means is to support teachers in their professional development and to ensure that teachers receive tangible benefits and premium career opportunities depending on their competencies. And in that way, keep all of you motivated as well as inspire new members to join this profession. So that's the goal with which we had set up Center couple of years back. And MyCENTA is a community of more than 150,000 teachers across the country. And these teachers do come from more than 6,000 locations across the country. And we just want to make it a more meaningful experience for all of you to be on MyCENTA. That's what MyCENTA is all about. It's an online community for teachers where we put up content on a regular basis to make it more relevant and more useful for all the teachers across the country to begin with, and over time globally. So, are you all able to log in or join in? Those of you who are already a member of MyCENTA, please log in and arrive at the home page. Those of you who are new, please fill in this simple form so that you can become member of MyCENTA. And if you're having any issues, etc., please feel free to write them in the chat and we'll try to address it. Is everyone able to join in? Can you please write yes if you are a first timer? Have you been able to join or are you facing any challenges? And people who already are member of MyCENTA, have you logged in and are on the home screen?
Okay, so I think Rashmi ma'am has an issue with saying it's showing phone and email already taken up. Uh, so in that case, you could sign in, and there's you see an option that says don't remember your username or password. Click here to sign in with your mobile number or email. So you could actually use that, and you can get a one-time password on either your mobile number or email address, and you could sign in using that. So for example, if I mean, I could enter either my email address or mobile number, and I would sign in there, and through the OTP that I receive, I'll be able to sign in.
Rashmi ma'am, you can also try receiving OTP on your email because sometimes the mobile network issue, which is beyond, as in which is not in our control, also hampers receiving the OTP immediately. You might receive it after a couple of minutes. Is everyone else able to sign in? Can I get a quick show of hands, please, if you're able to sign in? So everyone who has signed in, and I hope most of you have been able to sign in, should see the screen which is there on the screen right now. And that is what we call home page. Like for any app, this is the home page, which is like a shortcut for things which we want to bring the focus upon for a particular day or for different points in a day or for a particular week. So these are like highlights or features which we have here. So for example, we will just take you through the very first thing which we have here, okay? And then we will take you through a particular session today, which is called learning session. And then we can, depending on the time, take you through other sessions, other sections today, or we can continue this tomorrow, depending on how the interest of this group develops further. So Karthik, can you just
Sure.
scroll up and show the first screen?
Sure. So this is the home screen right here. And as Priyanka said, there are different banners, and these banners signify things that we would want to, we are focusing on a specific day in a specific week. So the first banner here talks about the CENTA Teaching Professionals Olympiad, TPO 2020. And Priyanka, should we take the group through the details of TPO 2020 first?
Let's do the learning section first.
Sure, sure. So
So
just
basically, I'll just give you an overview of this. So we have multiple sections here. Like MyCENTA is a community which can help you assess your competencies. It can help you provide various resources which can help you learn. And it also allows you interaction with fellow teachers across the country and increasingly over the globe. Now, the learning resources which we have on MyCENTA is a combination of free as well as paid resources. There's in some cases standalone resources, and in some cases they are resources which are like proper courses or modules, sometimes in conjunction with reputed partner entities like Oxford University Press, Pearson, Ed6 Labs, etc. And you can explore it and choose to buy the resources depending on what you want to focus upon in developing your competencies, or you can leverage the free resources depending upon what your interest area is in a particular week or in a particular month. So now Karthik would take you through the learning section to begin with, and then we'll come
sure,
up with the other features.
sure. So on the home screen, all of you would be able to see a bar at the bottom, which has four things in it: home, careers, learning, and forum. Right. So I think Rashmi ma'am is also able to sign. Fantastic. So the bar at the bottom, which says which has four labels on it: home, careers, learning, and forum. We'll click learning in that bar. Right. Yes. So this is something that we should see when we click on learning. Can everyone just show a quick, through a quick show of hands, just say that, okay, yeah, we are on this page. It'll help us proceed further.
Can everyone type a quick yes or no depending on whether you are able to see the screen on your mobile phones or not? Thank you, Tanveer ma'am.
Great.
Okay, Rashmi ma'am is also able to see the screen on her mobile. Paroma ma'am, please look, when you are on the home page, look at the bottom bar which says home, careers, learning and forum. And if you touch the learning section, you will come to this page. Scroll down and you will be able to see home, careers, learning and forum. Click on
Got
the
it.
learning button to arrive at this particular page.
I think Paroma ma'am is there now. She said
Yeah,
she's able
sure.
to see it.
Uh, is everyone else able to come to this page? Please drop in your answers. It will help us move ahead because we want all of you to really experience this. And that's the whole point in having these orientation sessions from our side so that We can make it interactive and you all are able to go through the app at your own pace. Okay, nice to know, Ishita ma'am. So we are assuming that basis the 6-7 responses we have received here, that all of you are able to arrive at this page. If not, please feel free to ping us anytime during the session, but we'll continue for now. Karthik?
Sure. So, as Priyanka said, the learning section, it's a combination of two types of learning resources, one could say, free resources and paid learning resources. Uh, so let's explore the resources. The first set of resources, the first set of tiles that are visible here, and if you use OTT platforms like Netflix or YouTube Music and all, you'd see it's a similar layout in certain cases, just that the movie titles have been replaced by competencies here. That's the difference. But so first, coming to the learning resources, all the learning resources that are, or all the resources that are a part of this section are uh, aligned to what we call CENTA standards. Now, CENTA standards is a framework of teaching competencies. It's an internationally accepted framework of competencies, and it basically forms the bedrock of whatever all the things that we do at CENTA, be it assessments, be it learning resources, be it resources from our affiliated partners, be it our webinars, be it our workshops. All of that comes under the whole overarching umbrella called CENTA standards. And what we'll also do is, after the session is over, we'll share a copy of CENTA standards with all of you here. It's a public document. It's available to everyone, and it's basically a set of competencies that we feel that each teacher should have with respect to the years of teaching experience they have, or the classes they teach, or or so that's it's that framework of competencies, and it extends to competencies like subject expertise, classroom communication, content development and planning, student assessments, remediation, coaching, professional competencies of the person, how the peer interaction happens, how interaction with students happen, how interaction with other stakeholders like parents happen, and so forth. And so that's this whole framework of competencies forms the foundation of all the things that we do at CENTA, and learning resources is one of them. So this exactly. So the first block itself is called CENTA standards. So we'll just click on that, and this is just an example. As I said, CENTA standards are a well-defined set of expectations for teachers at different stages of their careers. They have been developed through rigorous process and are meant to evolve continuously. And this section actually goes into the detail of what what are CENTA standards, why were they developed, what is the thinking behind or the philosophy behind developing CENTA standards, and so forth. So what I would request everyone to do here is, while, of course, after the session, you are going to go through the app at your own pace, but please do read this section, this style for sure, because it's going to be really helpful in setting the context of why we are doing it, and of what we are doing at Center and why we are doing it. So that's
What
one thing.
we'll do here is we will just take a 5-minute break and would
Sure.
request each of you to go through any of the available tiles which are here, like content development, classroom communication, assessment remediation, whichever one you want, and have a look at the way it is shown here, how we have broken it into sub competencies, and how for each competency there are multiple resources available. The best way is that you can go through it right now so that you know what we are talking about, and you can ask us your queries. And meanwhile, Karthik will just show you one of the competencies for you to get a handle of it. But we would really request you to check out any one of the competencies on your own and ask us your questions.
Sure. So, as Priyanka said, let's just pick up one competency here. And let's say we pick up classroom communication, for example. I will click on the classroom communication tile. I am keen to understand how classroom communication works. I'm keen to read up some resources on classroom communication. So let's see what happens. So the first thing that you see when you open up classroom communication is a little bit of an overview, a little bit of a description, just to set the context of what exactly are we going to talk about here and what can you expect from this section. So that's the first thing. And what you see below are the various aspects of classroom communication. Like, what are the various classroom management techniques that you could use? What are the best practices around contextualization? How best can you set the pace for your classroom? What are the best methods to involve students in your lessons? And then, of course, there are some basic communication skills that you should probably keep in mind. Now, let's just say I click on the first tile here, and which says classroom management techniques. So whenever you click on this, what you get is a brief write-up of, this is what the objective of this module is. This is what what we feel, uh, you know uh, uh, what classroom management techniques.
Let's
uh,
take a small pause
yeah,
here, and
sure.
why don't all of you open this particular tile and open this particular aspect? It's a very short, these are very short 3 paragraphs. Have a look at it right now, because that will help you understand how we have tried to summarize different competencies for you be able to get a gist of it and read the relevant resources in that context. So we'll just take a pause here for a couple of minutes. Have a look at this particular tile in detail. And once you have had read these 3 paragraphs, please have a look at any one of the resources or any one of those color tiles below which you find interesting and see what opens up. Karthik, can you just close this
Sure.
one for now?
Sure.
Yeah. So once you've read the 3 paragraphs, please click on any tile and see what happens. And once you have done that, please ping here done so that we know how to pace ourselves for this workshop. So these are some of the competencies in CENTA standards where we're saying that in classroom communication, what you need to be able to do. Karthik, can you just go to management techniques?
Sure.
Because I think that's
I
what
I
we
think
have
I'm
requested teachers to go through.
sure. Sure.
Yes, Tanveer ma'am. So basically, there are different kind of resources which we have put up. There are articles, there are blogs, there are videos, and you can go through those resources to learn about a particular subtopic. For example, in this classroom management technique, you would see how do we engage students, how do we build connections, how do we do positive reinforcement, and depending upon whatever topic you want, you can click on it. Bhavna ma'am, there is at the bottom of your I'm assuming you are on home screen. If you're on home screen, at the bottom, you will see these 4 words called home, careers, learning, and forum. You can click on learning to arrive at the learning home page. And there you can click on any of the 5 tiles available. Yes, Ishita ma'am. So some of the resources are CENTA's own resources, and some of the resources are of external parties, and we are able to link you to the relevant resources on different topics. For example, you can read that article on Edutopia and then come back using the back button of your mobile phone to arrive at the particular section.
I think
Has everyone
we've
been able to access a particular resource? Can you
I,
write yes or no?
I think we've been just joined by another teacher. The name is Miss Violeta Petkovska. Ma'am, I think you may have missed out on the initial portion. So, just to bring you up to speed, what we've covered is we've learned how to sign up on MyCENTA, and I'm going to put a link to for you to sign up, where you can create an account for yourself. It's free, it's free for all. And post that, you can come to the home screen and then to the learning section. So if Miss Pilota, if you are listening to me, the link is there in the chat. You could use that to sign up on MyCENTA and create an account for yourself. That will help you keep pace with the session.
So as we see, there are many of you who have written yes, done, yes, you are able to access all tiles. So basically what we do after every couple of weeks or days, we keep on adding new resources in the same tiles. For example, we might have a new tip for classroom management, or we might have a new resource to help you understand how do you engage teachers better in an online fashion, or we keep on adding completely new aspects like teaching in online environment, professional competencies, etc. So every few days we keep on adding new resources or new tiles, and we send email notifications to all the community members to let them know what we have added, so that you can come and check those resources and those tiles at your own pace and help plan your learning. So that is what this first part of learning section is all about. Some of the resources, most of the resources here are free, but if you would check all resources, you would realize that there are some resources which are also paid, and you can buy them if you want, or you can go through the free ones. So we'll just move on to the next portion of the learning section. If
Sure.
all are
So
comfortable
just
with
one
this.
here. So I just to complete the loop here. Yeah, when you click on the view resource part, when you click on a particular tile, you'll be able to see the resource, and what you see is what language the resource is in, what's the complexity of the resource, if it's a basic resource, if it's a high level resource, or if it's somewhere in the middle. And then there's of course a basic description that you can see, and then you can see, okay, is this something that I would want to read, or this is something I would want to park for now and maybe come back later. And if you think that, yes, this is something that you would want to read, then you click on the view resource button. And once you click on that, as Ishita ma'am was saying, and as Tanveer ma'am was saying, we are able, we go to the page where the resource itself opens. And once we've had a chance to take a look at the resource, we can press on the, press the done button, and we're back where we started. And if we really like the resource, then, we can give a star rating as well. And that helps us to understand the quality of the resources that we upload. Yeah, so that's that on the learning resources
I would
section.
really request you to rate the resources when you are going through them, because that will help us filter out the resources which you all like and gradually improve the overall quality of resources in this particular section. So we will remove the resources which are scored low by all of you, and we would keep on putting new and new resources which are more aligned with what you require to actually implement in your class or to support you. So this is the first section of learning resources. And then the second section is online courses from CENTA and the affiliated partner resources. Karthik, would you be able to take us through
Sure.
one or two of these types?
Sure. So as I said, again, these are so what we covered thus just now are what we would call the free part of the learning resources, and which are available to all. And then there are of course certain paid resources, online courses, workshops, webinars that are available as well, which you can purchase and then and then go through them. The good part about these is most of these are self-paced, and so you can purchase them and go through them at your own pace whenever you'd want to. Let's just take an example here. We have Oxford University Press, which I'm sure all of us who are here on this call would have heard about. Oxford University Press is an affiliated partner, and we have resources from OUP that are available on MyCENTA. So let's see which resources or which modules
Just for
these are.
your reference, these modules which are available of Oxford University Press on MyCENTA, they are not available as individual modules anywhere else. So we have this partnership with OUP, because of which you can buy a single module on MyCENTA. But if you want to buy, if you try otherwise like on Amazon, etc., the minimum you have to buy is a set of 7 or 14 modules. But if you want to buy one module, two modules, three modules, you can definitely leverage this particular feature on MyCENTA.
So let's just click on OUP, the tile which says OUP. Yeah. So this is what we'll get. Uh, and there are 21 different modules, and these modules cover a wide gamut of themes like how map skills could be developed in kids, how critical listening could be developed in kids, how expository writing could be developed in students, then tangrams, a music based approach to teaching fractions, and so forth, and so on and so forth. So, and there are 21 of these, and there's something on 21st century skills, there's something on how a sense of chronology could be developed in students, and so forth. So let's just take an example. So this is something which caught my eye. It says developing a sense of chronology in students. Now if I want to know more about it, there are two buttons here: more details and add to cart. So to know more about this, I will just click on more details, and tells me that this is going to cover the key concepts of chronology, and it deals with strategies that help students to connect an event in history with its wider implications. So this is just an example, but I really like this module. So what I'm going to do is to purchase this, I'm going to click on add to cart. This is a standard thing that you do on other, a lot of e-commerce platforms. So it's there. I've added this to my cart. Now let's go to my cart. So I'm going to click on the Save Cart button. I'm going to scroll down and click on the Save Cart button. And this is the page where I can, my details are already filled in here. And I can pay for my module. And then, in a few days, the access code will be shared with me. And yeah, I can go through the module at my own pace whenever I would want to. So yeah, so that's one example of doing it. So that's something from Oxford University Press. Now let's take Pearson. Pearson again is an affiliated partner, and okay, so Pearson has a workshop that it's organizing, and the workshop focuses on identifying and managing learning difficulties in students. And again, this is something that there's a description in here, and of course, there's a discount that's going on right now. So if you're interested, you can add this to your cart, go to your cart, and then pay for the workshop. And then a few days before the workshop, you'll get the details on how you could attend the workshop. So we just went. Okay, we're going to go back to the learning section. Oxford University Press is there, Pearson is there. Similarly, if say you're a math teacher, then we have different modules from HeyMath, and these of course are organized as per grades. So there's everything there's something for all the teachers who teach math from grade 1 to grade 10. So as you scroll down, the grades keep on increasing, and you have interesting modules that you could purchase for grades. And each of these modules has a set of puzzles, games, resources, stories, and all that you could use in your classroom to make your math lessons more interesting. Say for example, there's something called algebra for class 8, and it costs 360 rupees. And when you click on it, you'll see what all it contains. It contains animated lessons, activities, games, and tools, 157 problems, and all. So again, as I said, if this is something that interests you, you can add this to your cart and proceed towards buying it. And
You can
then yeah,
add
you'll get access
multiple
to it.
items on the same page together in
Yeah,
your cart.
yeah. So yeah, so that was that, and of course, OUP, Pearson, HeyMath are not the only ones in here. We have online courses from CENTA. We have online courses and modules from EdSix, Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Tata Institute of Social Sciences just closed registrations for its online course. It's going to open up again in a couple of months. So if you're interested, you can always come back and check it out. So yeah, so this is the paid section of the learning resources, and what we explored earlier was the free section of learning resources. And of course, as Priyanka said, every week on week, we keep on adding newer resources and newer tiles, so that you can come back and always check out new resources. And just to give a little bit of more context here, the reason and the idea behind doing this was, we had a lot of teachers coming back to us saying, okay, we want to take a look at something. We say Google for it, but when we Google for it, thousands and thousands of results come up, and we don't know which ones are good, which ones are of a good quality, which ones are substandard, and which ones should be used, which ones should be passed, and so forth. And that's what we've done here. We've curated the best of the lot and compiled them and made them available to you at a single place, so that it's easier for you to refer, and this becomes a single point of reference whenever you're looking for something on a specific competency. Yeah. So that was it. Would you want a couple of minutes to go through it, and then should we move on to the next section?
Yeah, Karthik, let's just pause for a minute or two so that everyone is comfortable browsing the section. And if you have
Sure.
any specific questions, please feel free to
Yes.
ask them in the chat,
Yes.
and so that we can help address those.
Yes.
And then we'll move on. Can you let us know if you would like us to move on to the next section in the chat window, please? If you have browsed the section enough and you want to move, please do. Sure. Ishita ma'am has said, Bhavani ma'am, okay. We'll just wait for a few more responses before we move on. Okay, Rashmi ma'am, Kanika ma'am, Samina. Samina, have you joined recently for this section, or I hope you have been there since the beginning? Okay, Karthik, let's move to the homepage again.
Sure.
So
So
as you
anytime you would want to
see,
go to
there
the
is a home
homepage,
button on
yeah.
the bottom. You can click on that to come back to the homepage.
Or you could also click on the MyCENTA logo, which is there on the top left corner. Anytime you want to come back to the homepage, you can go there. So Samina ma'am is saying that she joined a minute before. Ma'am, are you already inside MyCENTA? Are you already a member?
So while Karthik figures out details with Samina ma'am on chat, I'll just briefly tell you about other things on homepage. So Karthik, can you just scroll it us for a while? Just scroll down. Yes. So you would say these two sections here called new opportunities and webinars. So basically new opportunities, whenever we have any opportunity from different school groups or these organizations which support online teaching, etc., they publicize their opportunities on MyCENTA to be able to access the vast number of teachers network which we have on MyCENTA, and you can apply, you can read the details of those opportunities by clicking on the relevant opportunity, and you can apply for them. For example, if you are, if you were interested to know what is UABL's opportunity, you click on the homepage style of UABL, you read through the job description, like last date to apply is 1st of August, salary is 40,000 rupees per month, and what are they looking for? So they are looking for a part-time role, and if you're interested, you can click by clicking on this apply button. Yes. So UABL basically prefers candidates who have a center teaching quotient score of 40 or above, and we'll tell you what that quotient is or how do you get that score to improve your improve chances of your shortlist. But that is how you can apply for different roles using this. Now, if you see below this new opportunities, you see this section called webinars. So every Thursday, 5 to 6, we conduct free webinars on a wide variety of topics. And these sessions are taken by teachers who have been in our platform for a significant amount of time and have shown demonstrable competencies in different topics. So these topics relate to content development, they relate to classroom management, they related to high order thinking skills, they relate to special education. They also talk about various career related options, like if you want to be teaching in international schools, what does it require? If you want to be teaching in IB schools in India, what does it require? If you want to be teaching in an online environment, what does it mean? And we get the teachers here, but we also get lots of other industry experts or educators, etc., to conduct these sessions. Like the next three sessions, if you would see here, are on 30th July, we are having a session on augmented reality. This is a particular session which is being in news a lot these days. Mr. Sham, who would be conducting this session, is a teacher who developed this particular construct of how you can use augmented reality to make your classes more engaging. And to register for this webinar, you just need to click on express interest, fill a short form, and that's all. And for all these webinars, if you register for, you will get a record of participation from our side after you attend the session, which you can leverage for any purpose you want. So like, for example, next three sessions, one is on augmented reality, another is on math, and the math, which is on a very, very interesting topic on how Indian Sanskrit texts during 500 to 1500 AD covered various mathematical concepts and what we can learn from that. Now, that's a very interesting session. If any one of you is from math, you should definitely watch out for this session by simply expressing your interest. So, and similarly, we have this session on online teaching, like what kind of strategies and tips as a teacher should be kept in mind to ensure better learning outcomes in this environment. And most of these webinars are free. We are also planning some paid master classes, and we are yet to launch them. As member of MyCENTA, we would inform you about those sessions whenever we launch them. So these are the broad functionalities on opportunities on webinars to learn and how to learn on your own pace using the free resources or the partner resources or modules. Karthik, can you take everyone through TPO, please?
Sure. So, so what we're going to do is we're just going to click on this banner, which is there just above the new opportunities section, and let's see what happens. So just to give you all a little bit of a background about what Teaching Professionals Olympiad is, and just curious to know of all the people who are present here, how many of us have heard about Teaching Professionals Olympiad in the past? CENTA, TPO. I see a few recognizable names, so I know that they already know about it, but just I just wanted to get a quick dipstick view of who all is aware of TPO in this group. So Paroma ma'am says heard of it. That's good to know, ma'am. Just from others, like yes, no, just something for me to understand, what is the level of awareness in this group. And then okay, oh, Amita ma'am says that I've appeared for it. Fantastic. Bhavna ma'am says
No,
no.
ma'am is new. Okay.
No. Okay. Tanveer
Can we
ma'am
have
is
a
new.
quick check from everyone, please?
Okay. No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So I think a lot of us are not very sure about. I have a colleague who's qualified and shared it on Facebook. Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. So just to give you, tell you what it is. I'm sure as teachers, we've helped our students prepare for a science Olympiad, right? Or a math Olympiad, or a cyber Olympiad, green Olympiad, and so forth. So, but quite simply put, CENTA Teaching Professionals Olympiad, it's an Olympiad for teachers. It's a competition for teachers. It's a competition to reward, recognize, and celebrate the teaching profession. Because what we've often seen is teaching in India, or across the world actually, it's quite underappreciated as a profession. It's quite underpaid as a profession. Teachers often don't receive the kind of rewards and the recognitions that should come their way, because because of one reason or the other. And that's the thought process, as Priyanka was saying, behind setting up CENTA as an organization 5 years back. Like, what are things that we can do to reward, recognize, and celebrate the teaching profession? So the first thing that came to our mind is, okay, so yeah, we set up the CENTA standards, and okay, the CENTA standards is there's a framework of competencies now, but how do we tell people about it? How do we make people excited about this? So, and that's when the idea struck us. As I said, there are numerous Olympiads for students, and students get recognized in these Olympiads. They win all sorts of prizes. What about teachers who help them prepare for these Olympiads? So we thought, okay, let's do something different. Let's have an Olympiad for teachers. Let's have a competition for teachers, which will bring together teachers from across the country, and give them an opportunity to showcase their talents, give them or create an opportunity for them to get access to things which otherwise are very difficult to or platform have them access platforms which are otherwise very difficult to access for a normal teacher. So we thought, okay, let's launch it. Let's see what the response is. And to our great surprise, in the first year itself, on this I'm talking about 2015, we had 5,000 teachers from across the country expressing interest to go to a center to take up the Teaching Professionals Olympiad. And when I say center, it was a first year. We just had it in the 7 metros. We thought, okay, let's just experiment. Let's see what the response is going to be. And we had 5,000 teachers in 2015, back in 2015, who came from almost 2,000, I think it was some 1,000 different locations, cities, towns, and villages, who were willing to undertake overnight train journeys to go to one of those centers and take up the test. So that was back in 2015. No, okay, so that was fantastic. And 2016 was even brilliant, 2017 even better, 2018, 2019. In fact, we even went international in the last couple of years. What has happened is, over the last 5 years, we've built up a community of 150,000 teachers from across the country and also the Middle East, who are now called, and the community is now what we call a MyCENTA community, which now you, by a virtue of attending this session and creating a sign up on MyCENTA, are a part of. And the majority of the teachers who are a part of the community have joined it because they were moved by this initiative called the Teaching Professionals Olympiad, or they wanted to participate in this initiative called the Teaching Professionals Olympiad. So that was, a quick short story behind the initiative. So yeah, so it's a competition for teachers. It's a competition which tests, or for teaching competencies such as subject expertise, your content development skills, your planning skills, your assessment skills, your classroom communication skills, and so forth. Uh, but and every year what happens is, yeah, I mean, it's a competition, so there are a lot of prestigious prizes that are associated with it. And we've had people being profiled in the Hindu. Of course, in fact, today we had the winners of TPU 2019 were profiled in the respective editions by the Hindu newspaper. And we have people going to Dubai every year to attend the Global Education and Skills Forum, fully free of cost. Oxford University Press is a partner, and Oxford University Press, every year it selects 2 teachers and fully sponsors them to go to Oxford University and take up the 2-week program on English language there. And Reliance Foundation is a principal partner, and Reliance Foundation offers citations and cash awards to our winners, and these cash awards range from 1 lakh to rupees 2,000. So there are numerous prizes because it's a competition. But more importantly, it's a way for you to assess yourself, self-assess yourself, for a way for you to understand, okay, this is something that I'm really good at. This is something that probably I should improve on. Okay, this, I didn't know that I was good at this. I didn't know that I thought that I was good at this, but this is something that I definitely need to improve on. So TPO provides you a way to do that. And what is very different this year is, till last year, we had test centers across the country. We had 75, we conducted the TPO in December 2019 in 75 cities across India. Like, and from tier 2 to tier 3 cities, we had centers all across the country. But because of the current, pandemic that we find ourselves, these foreseeable, unprecedented circumstances, we've brought about a major shift in TPO this year. What we've done is we've made the TPO a fully online process. And when I say a fully online process, it means that you can take up the Teaching Professionals Olympiad anytime, anywhere that means you can take it up from the comfort of your home. So I think I just had an issue with my screen sharing. I'm just gonna do it again. Excuse me, just give me 1 second. Mm, uh, is my screen visible? I don't think so.
No, not yet, Karthik.
Okay,
Yeah,
let
it's
me.
okay. You can continue updating everyone on TPO
Sure,
while you are figuring out the details.
sure. So as I said, this year the big change that we have brought about in the TPO is we've made it a fully online process, which means that you can take up the TPO from the comfort of your home. And it's a two-stage competition now. It's a two-stage competition. The first part is a 90-minute online test that you can register for and take up anytime, anywhere, and that's something that we're calling as TPO prelims. Okay, my screen is back. As I said, it's a two-stage competition now. The first part is the prelims, which is a 90-minute competition, which is a 90-minute test. It's a multiple choice test. It can be taken up anytime, anywhere, as I said, from the comfort of your own home. And there are 20 different subject tracks that are available. So if you're a math teacher, science teacher, within science itself, if you teach middle, say secondary school physics, there's a subject track for you. If you teach middle school social studies, there's a subject track for you. If you teach primary Hindi, there's a subject track for you. If you teach senior secondary school English, there's a subject track for you. So we've tried to, make the spread quite wide and make it as democratic as possible in terms of offering the choices to the teachers. And then, as I said, 90-minute test, take it up anytime, anywhere. And the 5,000 top scorers of that test, will qualify for the TPO final, which is going to be held on 12th of December. And again, it's an online test, can be taken up anytime from anywhere. And yeah, so the details are there on our website, and it can also be accessed through the MyCENTA app. The registration process is a simple one. You see the button to register here. You can click on the button, fill in a short form, and then register yourself. And because you are a part of this session, we'll also share a special discount code with you so that you can avail a special discount on the fee and complete your registration. So that was that was a short bit about TPO. And yeah, Priyanka, anything you want to add to this?
So basically, the purpose of this assessment, so to say, is to assess the competencies in a fun-filled manner. And in addition, being a competition, as Karthik was saying, there are multiple prizes, etc. But what's more important is everyone who will participate in it will get a confidential performance scorecard. And that scorecard will be accessible only to you through your MyCENTA login ID, and it will not be shared from Centa's side with anyone else. If you choose to share it with anyone else, that's your prerogative, not our decision. So it's a confidential performance scorecard which tells you how you have scored in various topics and subtopics which are covered in the exam, and how does your performance compare with the maximum or the minimum or the average scores in those themes across all the participants. So it tells you your absolute performance, and it also tells you your relative performance, so that you can kind of make a decision in an informed manner in what kind of competency you want to focus upon in developing or grooming going forward. And that is where the learning section, which we took you through before, comes into play. So participating in Center TPO or its prelims will give you a handy scorecard, and then you can leverage that scorecard to see which particular topics you want to focus upon and go through them in the learning section. So that's how the whole cycle works. And once you do well in Center TPO or its prelims, you can apply and get a priority shortlisting for the various opportunities as we were showing. So the whole hypothesis which we are working with is, if you're competent and you're motivated to continuously improve your competencies, because teacher is a lifelong learner, and that is the discount code which I have also written in the chat, which you can use to avail the discount. And we are giving the discount code to you because you have participated in this session, which shows that you're really inclined to improve your competencies on a regular basis, and hence you can use this discount code lifelong learner. And that is what we are trying to do, to to motivate and inspire you to take up opportunities which are in alignment with your competencies and your interest areas. So with that, we will take
Sure.
a pause. If there is any specific questions which you have for either Karthik or me, please do feel free to ask it. And Karthik, then we'll quickly take the group through the quizzes and surveys and wrap it up.
Yes. Sure.
So I know we had slotted this section for 1.5 hours. So we definitely have time with us, but if you have any specific questions, do let us know. Otherwise, we'll wrap up the session before time. Karthik, I think we can do the quizzes and survey section,
Sure.
and
Sure.
then
Sure. Great. So what I would request you is to click on the left menu, and you'll see something like this. And this is I'll just quickly take you through the items in here, and then we can focus on the quiz section post that. So the first one is get certified. It has information about the teaching quotient, the CENTA TPO, the various certifications that we offer. You can always go through that. Then my registrations is, of course, something that it's a repository of your registrations. It's a record of your registrations. Whatever you register for, all of those are going to be recorded here. You can always come back and see what you've registered for. Then my performance report section, it's going to be blank for me. The reason I'm not showing this is because it's a test account and it's going to be blank for me. The my performance report section is the section where all the confidential performance reports that Priyanka was mentioning about will be visible. So you can always come back. All your historical reports, all the historical data is going to be here. Anytime you would want to see your report, you can always come back here and then access the report as a PDF at the click of a button. My achievements, yeah. So my achievements is something special. If you get a score of 50 or more in the TQ test, or if you are a previous TPO winner, you will get awarded digital badges. And these are badges that you can share with anyone across in your friends, family, school, all of that. You can share digital badges, and your certificates, digital badges, everything will be available in this section. That's called my achievement section. Then my orders is the modules that you purchase. All those purchase records are there in the my order section. Quizzes and surveys, as the name suggests, has quizzes and surveys. It's an interesting section. We'll come back to it in a second. MyCENTA blog, this is something that we'll touch base tomorrow. It's a place where we have some incredible writing and features and pieces contributed by our teachers, and poems, short stories, articles, strategies, methods, and so forth, news and events, and then of course the logout thing. Plus, of course, there's a forum section on the home screen bottom right corner that we'll cover in tomorrow's session. But let's go to quizzes and surveys. So yeah, so quizzes and surveys, again, this is something which is one of the most loved section in an app. And so I think Ishita ma'am says, can we contribute to the blogs? Absolutely, ma'am. Please, send your writings to team@centa.org, and we'll feature them on our blog. Yes. So yeah, coming back to the quiz section, we have a few sample quizzes here, and as the learning resource section gets updated, the quiz section also gets updated on a a fortnightly basis, where we add new quizzes. So let's take a quiz here, and let me say I'm just going to take a science quiz, for example, middle school science, and let's see. Okay,
I
I
think
have
we
already.
just give a while to everyone to actually go through the quiz. I think
Sure,
it'll be a
sure,
very fun thing. We have a couple of subjects here, like we have English, math, we have primary, we have science,
sure,
and we
sure,
have some common quizzes. So
sure.
why don't we take like 5 minutes, and why don't all of you go through any of the quiz which is of your own subject area and try them? It'll be a great fun exercise. So we'll
And the
just,
good,
I will just hold on for 5 minutes and
exactly.
try out some quiz.
And the good thing is you'll be able to get a score after the quiz, and after each question, you'll get a detailed analysis of why that answer is correct or incorrect. And let's also, yeah, let's see what score are we able to get. I hope everyone's on the quiz section though. If someone's having difficulty, it's in the left menu. Quizzes and surveys is what the section is called. You can simply click on it and then, choose to take the quiz that you want.
So Karthik, why don't you go to the common quizzes and let's just play this together.
Sure. Right. So,
So why don't you all read this and type in your answer in the chat box, and then we will see what's the correct answer and why is that correct. And that will give you a very good flavor of how this section works. So the question says, which of the following statements made by 4 different teachers is most correct? So all the statements may or may be partially correct, but which of those is most correct? And why don't all of you read them carefully and then type in your answer in the chat box, please? Karthik, let's
okay,
just wait for
let's just take a guess. Sure.
Ruby ma'am is saying option D. Okay.
Okay.
Bhavna ma'am is saying option A. Okay. Let's have some more answers before we actually see what the correct option is. Kanika ma'am, there is only one potentially correct answer, not 2 options. All the questions which we create, they have only one correct answer.
Okay. A.
Okay, option A. Okay. What else? So we have option A and option D as the okay.
So let's go with option A
Let's
maybe
just,
because,
let's just see with option A and see what happens.
sure, that's right. Option A is indeed the correct answer. So, and there we have a detailed explanation of why option A is correct and why the other options are not correct.
So the
So,
most important thing which we have tried to do for all of your reference in the quizzes is to give the question, but after that, not just give the correct response that option A is correct or option D is correct or option B is correct, but also try to explain why option A is correct and why the other 3 options are incorrect. Because that will help you understand the thought process behind the questions and will be a more robust and hopefully sustainable learning as compared to just telling that this is the correct answer. So just knowing the correct answer will not typically does not help a teacher extend that learning in another context. But if you understand the thought process, you would be able to answer similar questions in a much better manner, and it would be a sustainable learning. So that's what we try to do with our quiz section.
so there's
So
the
let
second
me take
question.
one more question just to give you a flavor, and then we'll move on from the section.
Okay. So we've got a couple of A's. Tanvir ma'am is saying A. Paroma ma'am is saying A. What about others? What do others think correct answer is?
Yeah, let's have some more options.
I think Mr. Sunil
Anyone
Kumar
else
has
wants to
raised his hand.
take an answer?
Sunil sir, are you looking for something specific? You seem to have raised your hand. Okay. Might be a mistake. Sure.
Anyone
So
else wants to take a guess before we see what the actual answer is with the analysis? No more guesses?
okay. Since the majority of you seem to be saying A, let's see if A is indeed the correct answer. So I've chosen A. So click on the next button. No, the correct answer is B.
So we'll just
And
take a pause here and give you time to go through this, especially because few of you thought option A is the correct one. And here it tells acting as if what an individual does is in the larger interest of society, which is option A, is at a much higher level and hence not correct. So Kohlberg's theory of moral development talks about at what stage of a kid would they understand a particular concept. And thinking about the larger interest of society is not something which kids understand at that level, and hence option A is incorrect and option B is a better option. So that's just to give you a flavor of how the various questions and the analysis work. And we believe that going through the quizzes section would be a great fun come learning exercise for everyone present here.
so we can I'll just quickly go through the other questions just to see, you know, so I'm just picking answers at random, but you can do it at your own pace. And then at the end of it, we can see what is the score that, we one can get. So again, I'm just
And as you would
choosing.
have seen on the homepage, the quizzes are available for different subjects like
Yeah.
math, science, etc. But also for certain non-subject specific items like this one.
Yeah. So as I said, yeah, I didn't perform well. I just scored a 1 on 7. But you can take your time and then go through the questions at your pace and then, answer the questions. Currently, we have quizzes for computer science, math and EVS English, math, science, social studies. And we will be adding more quizzes in, every week. We keep on adding quizzes and you could take a look at that. We can only do the quiz once. No, I'll just check if you're not able to access the quiz again. That should not be the case, but you should be able to do the quiz again, ma'am. I'll just check why you're not able to do that, but you should be able to do the quiz again.
Okay, I hope the quizzes section gave you a good flavor. And these are the kind of questions which you would find in TPO prelims and finals. The rigor level of the questions in the two stages is different, but the kind of questions, etc., are pretty much same. And this can help you prepare for CENTA TPO in a much more concrete manner.
Right. So, and yeah, if you can scroll down, you can see the survey section. And those of you who are from an affordable private school, we have a couple of surveys for you right now. And you can, take the, okay, Baramaz ma'am says the quizzes are fun. Great. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Really nice to know that. Yeah, as I was saying, anyone who's from an affordable private school, they can, register and take up the survey. So, and it's just that we have these two surveys live at a point of time, but at this point of time rather, but we keep on conducting regular surveys to, understand our teacher audience better, understand what their expectations are, especially when it comes to career opportunities or professional development avenues or learning resources that they're looking for. and then we try to build in those responses in, build in those inputs into the decisions that we take, so that we are able to, do justice to you, and present you things which we feel would make most, or would be most relevant to you. So that's something, that's a section that you should always keep an eye on. If there's a relevant survey for you, please, take that up and let us know your inputs. Okay. Sure, Tanveer ma'am. Sure, absolutely. We would love to have you tomorrow as well, attend the session tomorrow as well, because we are going to cover a couple of other interesting, features of the MyCENT app, specifically the forum, the discussion forum, and the group section, which allows teachers to connect with each other directly, message each other, share resources, and all of that. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We hope that you are there for tomorrow's session. Thanks a lot for attending today, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
And we would really hope and love if you actually do register for Center TPO. You can get the details of the Center TPO from our website, and you can use the discount code which I had written earlier to avail for the discount. And let's hope you will have fun in that. Karthik,
Yeah.
should we wrap up for today?
Sure. Let's do that. Let's just,
We have
yeah,
like session 2 continuation of this tomorrow at the same time. Whereas Karthik was saying we would talk about more features like discussion forum, groups, so on and so forth. And meanwhile, you can browse through the app a lot more before tomorrow's session. And if there are any questions which you have, feel free to check with them in tomorrow's session, or you can drop us an email at team@centa.org, and we'll definitely get back to you. We hope you like this session, and with that, we would take your leave for now.
yeah. So Ruby ma'am is saying, please send the link to download the app. No, ma'am. So yeah, I've just texted, a link. So one fundamental thing which I missed, saying, at the beginning, is MyCENTA is not available on Google Play Store, or an app store in case you're using an iPhone. It's a progressive web app, which means that you can access it from your mobile browser itself. So it's something that you m.centa.org, from your mobile browser itself, you can access it, and you can also pin it, add it to your home screen. It will give you a message, add this app to the home screen, and once you click on yes, it will get added to your home screen, and then it will function like any other app. So the benefit is that you can have the app all times on your phone. Unlike other apps, it won't consume space at all. It's a very, very light app. You won't have to bother about space. You don't have to bother about updates. Nothing. Everything will get automatically updated, and you will always have refreshed content on your home screen. So that's how it works. It's m.centa.org from your mobile browser. That's how you sign up on the app. Sure. Okay, great. Oh, Ruby ma'am is saying, actually I have already. Great.
Sure. Hoping to see you all again tomorrow, and hope you like this particular session. And do test out the app at your own pace,
Sure.
and let us know your feedback, your inputs, what you liked, what you disliked, what you would
Absolutely.
want us to improve upon.
Absolutely. And I would request you to share this message with your friends as well, so that, tomorrow your friends could also join you in this session, and we'll share new links. And, and then, we can just quickly take them through, spend 5 to 10 minutes and take them through, give a quick overview of what we covered today, and then move on to the other sections. So please feel free to invite your friends also to tomorrow's session. We'll be more than happy to, have them join us. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing a couple of new things. We'll be exploring the blog section, and we'll also be exploring the MyCENTA discussion forum in detail, Rashmi ma'am. So MyCENTA discussion forum is the main thing that we'll be covering tomorrow. It's a very interesting section, and one of the most requested sections. So we'll cover that tomorrow. Only link is enough to, yes, only link is enough, ma'am. This link is enough. So if you already have an account, use a username or password, or else you can sign up and create a new account.
Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. Bye bye for now. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming. Thank you.